So the show is over. You're relaxing.
Very
You're delousing.
I'm delousing.
You're
I'm beering up.
you're drying up. It's
Yes,
beer.
I'm
It's
drying
beer
up,
30.
beering up. It's beer 30. Yes, it is. It was a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad you guys came down and saw the show and really enjoyed it. So that's
Fantastic.
That really counts.
I'm always happy to see my friends, especially good, hardworking people like you, just kicking butt, man, kicking butt.
I'm trying my best to slam it out there. My hands are in good shape. Look at that. I mean, like, not that bad.
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's funny. I put the mic to your thumb like it was gonna talk.
Like,
I thought I was good at this until I just did that, and then I realized, nah, man, you're still learning.
still learning how to
Thumbs
do that.
don't talk.
Talk with the thumb.
So what kind? I know you said you guys rehearse in Omaha,
Yeah.
and you guys usually do rehearse in Omaha, right? Is that that's a
always-
home base arena that you rehearse there?
I'd say 7 or 8 years we've been in Omaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's Council Bluffs. I think it's Council Bluffs, Iowa, is what I think it is.
Okay.
But we rehearsed at the Mid America Center out there, and then we stay in because it's right across the bridge. Like, we stay at one hotel over in downtown Omaha, and then we take our vans and stuff and go over to the arena. And both bands set up in the arena, one on one side.
Right. So both the East Coast and the West Coast band rehearse in the same place.
Same arena, and then we have all the dressing rooms, or all the like rooms like this, are our rehearsal rooms. So we set up other gear, we set up smaller gear and stuff, and we just
Hash it out.
hash it out. Then there's one for singers, one for like choreography, one for the two for the bands, and offices and production and the whole routine.
Yeah, you can really see when you watch this show how much time and effort and meticulous preparation goes into this thing, man. It's pretty epic. I mean, we talked earlier about the 20 trucks and the 11 buses and all that stuff and 120 crew members, but the amount of time and the hours that you guys put into this thing really shows in the show.
The production is massive as far as like their planning. They start planning like the next tour. This year in 2016 there won't be any spring tour. There's not going to be any kind of a spring tour. There's going to be just really working, I think, on the 20th anniversary tour that's coming up. That's going to be a real big one because we're doing the first album in its entirety that started this whole thing, Christmas Eve and Other Stories. That's going to be really huge. Paul's got something planned for that nobody is really privy to at this time, but it's going to be mind blowing. It will.
So that was my next question. How long have you been involved with TSO, and what got you involved with TSO?
Oh, I've been involved with TSO since 2002. That was my first tour. And what got me involved with it was I've known Al forever. I played with Al and
Al Petrelli. Ex-Sabotage, Shredder.
Shredder, Megadeth, Alice Cooper, just the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, I've known Al since working together with Randy Coven, the late Randy Coven, may rest in peace. So that's been like since mid-'80s, 85, I'm going to say, somewhere around in there. And Al took off and did a whole bunch of things. I was in several bands with Al. Did a lot of records for the Japanese at one point, in the like mid-'80s, late '80s and stuff. The Japanese were very into like instrumental music and as many notes as you could possibly play. Yes, that was what it was. So I got to play a bunch of those records. And over the years, we just stayed in touch, back and forth. And in 2002, early in 2002, I got a call from him out of the blue, asking me about, would I be interested in coming in as a sub, for Trans-Siberian Orchestra, just, to check it out.
And who was the drummer at that time?
At that point, it was Steve Murphy. Okay. Great player, world-class player. So I got the sub gig, and, that's, things happen, whether it be whatever it could possibly be, musically, personality-wise, whatever it was. Nothing to take away from Steve. He's a great guy and a great, great player, but it just didn't work out. Right. So I thought I had the backup gig, and I'm like,
so you came in and you pulled the Gig Reaper on poor Steve.
Yeah.
The Gig Reaper.
The Gig Reaper.
I've done that, and I really like being that guy.
Like being that guy.
You come down and you check out the band, like you're friends with the guitar player, like, oh yeah, you guys are great, and the guitar player's like, that's great, you're in the band now, and you're like, what? And the drummer's all, what? You suck. We were hanging out.
I've done that. I've been on that side. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on both sides of that thing, basically. I really have. But that's how I got the gig. And he called me up and he said, listen, here's what the gig pays. Here's when it starts. Here's when it ends. Do you want it? And I looked at my wife, my late wife, and I said, well, here's what it pays. Here's when I leave. Do I want it? And she was like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And so that's how I got the gig. And it's been that way ever since. And to me, it's like the best gig out there because I get to tour with these guys. and they're a great bunch of people. We have so much laughs. I come home, my face is like hurting from laughing so much sometimes. It's ridiculous.
That's the best part, when you can be on tour and get along with people and just shoot the shit and have a great time.
We're brutal to each other. We are. You come into this dressing room, you're just kind of like, do these guys like each other? Like the security outside, they hear us screaming and yelling at each other and stuff. They're like, you know.
I try to tell that's an East Coast thing, because I get on her and she's like, if people saw this from the outside, but I say her, it's my beautiful girlfriend Yolanda who's shooting this. People would be like, "You're abusive. You're being mean to me." I'm like, "No. That's the New York. That's the East Coast thing." Jackass, relax.
Relax. Shut up. We like when somebody like our guy comes in to like do this right over here. He comes right in. He comes inside.
Let's wait for him. Let's wait for him.
Yeah, but
damn it.
He comes in and stuff, and it's like 15 minutes to do that. We have like shoes ready.
Right.
The shoes, boots, whatever it is. Wham! Wing it right at the door. And sometimes the stuff flies right out the door. Security guards see it. They're just horrified. Like,
that's great.
How could this be? They're so mean to this poor guy.
So here's a question. So you guys all have these separate rooms backstage. How many of you guys are actually all really practicing and shedding? And are you on a pad every night before the shows? Or the guys in their rooms with practice amps before the shows? Because you guys do so much rehearsal and so much prep, and you're always just continually going. There's almost no need to.
Sometimes you're doing 2 shows a day. A lot of when I first started, we were only doing maybe 7 or 8 matinees. Now we're doing like 20, 24 matinees.
Out of how many shows? 40, something like that.
So this year it's a shorter tour. This year, I'd say we're doing like 48 cities. So I'd say maybe more than half are doubles. Yeah. So it's there's no need to practice. Our sound checks get shorter and shorter like every day. Our shortest one so far has been about 15 seconds.
Wow. You're like
with the opening song, we play that till our sound guy Michi goes. Then we just stop.
Well, the professionalism and the prep that you guys put into it definitely shows, and I just want to thank you once again for allowing me the access today and able to do this. You and I go back a lot of years, and
like that big and stuff.
Yeah, and I used to take drum lessons. Yeah, drum lessons at the Long Island Drum Center, and John was one of the great counter workers and teacher there, and just doing his thing.
A guy working there, like hanging out with a bunch of really great people and having so much fun. I mean, you can't. I would never trade those days for anything.
Yeah, it was a lot simpler times. The days were quite simple, and we didn't have to worry about as much, and we just got behind our kits and rocked out.
I remember setting up drum sets with Dennis in like the parking lot on Christmas Eve, just like taking them out of the boxes and trying to like put them all together. They're going to pick them up. They're going to pick them up in an hour, and staying open late and just
melee around Christmas.
Melee at that place. It was so much fun. It was really great. But I miss those guys. I live in Northeast Pennsylvania now, so it's about they're a good maybe 2.5, 3 hours away from me, so I don't get down there that often. But I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling in 2016, so I'll be going down to visit and stuff and doing that, and working on some different things. So I'm looking forward to it.
I hope to meet up with you at NAMM, and we will get Dennis out there, and we will run into him, and that's it. John O.Reilly, Trans-Siberian Orchestra,
West Coast.
Boom.
Ba boom.
See ya.